Hello, Hopkinton, and welcome to the Hopkinton Hangout Hour. I am your host, Jim, along with Bob behind the scenes, who's making everything work. I'd like to welcome you to our live show. It is Wednesday, June 16th, coming down to the end of the school year. Tonight, I'm excited to have back with me again members of the Hopkinton Freedom Team. They have a lot going on, and it's always really interesting to see what's happening. So I have Freya, Smithas, and Kathleen with me here tonight, and welcome to you all.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Now, I know the big thing, we have a big thing coming up. We have a big parade coming up that we haven't had before. We're also going to be talking about other things that you're doing because you just have so many things going on. But why don't we start off and start at the beginning? Hopkinton has never had a pride parade before. What's happening?
I'm going to let Freya answer that because she is the power behind this parade.
All right, Freya, it's up on you.
Yeah, we are super excited. In collaboration between ourselves and the Hopkinton Youth Commission, we're very honored, very privileged to be able to deliver the first LGBTQIA+ Pride Parade in Hopkinton on Saturday, June 26th at 2 p.m. on the high school outdoor track. So we've invited various organizations throughout the town to come and walk. So essentially they'll be joining us and we'll be walking 3 loops of the high school track together. And we're also able to accommodate some in-person spectators as well. We have an Eventbrite page. If you'd like to spectate in person, you're more than welcome to check out the details and to get tickets. They are free. We just need registration in advance just so we can track the amount of people entering and exiting the facility. HCAM will also be there. We're super excited. Thank you so much, HCAM. They will be broadcasting and filming the event live as well, so you can watch it on all their channels. I think that's all the overview details. I don't know if I missed anything, but.
All right. So, as I was mentioning, we haven't had one of these before, and Pride has been around for many years, June being Pride Month. So who said Hopkinton should have this?
I think that would be Freya. I think that, Freya, you can talk more about this, but I know that you mentioned the possibility first with the crosswalk or flags in Hopkinton for Pride Month, and before we knew it, it was a parade.
Yes, that is true. Essentially, we really wanted to plan an event in commemoration of Pride Month. We do things to focus on the LGBT community throughout the year. As you know, Pride does go all year, not just in June, as many people forget. And we were thinking about proposing a crosswalk, which we have done in the town that we're trying to work on, the flags, because we just never thought that it would be possible to do a Pride parade in COVID times as well. So we thought maybe that's something, for the future. So Madison Luce, who's the president of the Gender Sexuality Alliance at Hopkinton High School, is also part of our Freedom Team group. And her and I just sort of had a Zoom meeting where we're brainstorming all these ideas. And we're like, you know what, let's just do a Pride parade. And we looked at each other and we're like, that's kind of crazy, but let's do it. And as soon as we kind of said that out loud and saw the look on each other's face and realized we were both serious, we were like, yeah, we knew in that moment that we were going to commit and give it everything we had because it needs to happen in this town. And the first thing we did is we emailed Dr. Kavanaugh to say, would the track be a possibility? Because this was only about 8 weeks ago. So having to plan a parade with only 8 weeks and no real budget or anything, we knew it probably wouldn't be feasible for our first time to get it on the road as a parade like the 300th year commemoration was. And because it was just the 2 of us at the time, we thought, let's start on the track. That would be a really good way to social distance as well, because the track has lines and it's, contained facility. So we emailed Dr. Kavanaugh and she's like, let's do this. Let's make it happen. So she put us in touch with the school committee and with the Board of Health and doing the police and fire safety risk application. So she was really our springboard. And everybody we emailed to say, would this be an actual possibility? They were all so supportive. And then suddenly we're like, oh my gosh, we're planning a Pride parade. And I hadn't realized that yet. But it's been an amazing experience and the support of everyone's been amazing. And part of the reason I asked Smithas to join tonight is Smithas has been super helpful with all the artwork. Smitha is our go-to artwork person for everything the Freedom Team needs. She designed the Boston Marathon Love Letters advertisement, which I think most people have seen, and also our Love is Love mural that we're working on, and the Pride Parade flyer. So I really wanted to give Smitha a super big shout out for that too.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah. It's been
tell us, Smith, tell us about your artwork.
yeah, it's really been awesome working with Freya, and you know, she is sort of my go-to person to ask any questions about this, and you know, it's been great. I think the first time we started working was like last year when Such put out the Hopkinton lights up as one, the banner on the town common. So we did this. That was the first year we launched it, and so we came up with different letters for Hopkinton, like H for hope, and then O for openness, and then I said, well, let's do P for pride, and you know, let's do something, feature something about pride in the town common. So I think that was the first time I started working with Freya, and she was really very generous to come up with some ideas on how we could get that moving forward on social media. Again, those were COVID times, and you know, we had to do it all online. But that was just like a small piece of it, and then this year it's just, you know, grown to something much bigger through the Freedom Team. So the artwork is all. I think I was just inspired by um, the whole concept of this parade, and I wanted to feature something that was unique, had some aspect of Hopkinton featured in it, and yeah, I think that's how it came about. Yeah.
That is really great. Go ahead, Kathleen.
Sorry, Jim. I think this would be a good time, Smith and Freya, for you to talk about the mural.
Yeah. Yeah, so the mural is another project, you know, that we've been working together on, and I'm not sure how it started. I think maybe, I think I proposed the idea, and then, you know, let's do a mural for EMC Park, and then it so happened that Freya already had a lot of ideas, and she made this beautiful sketch on paper, and she sent it to me, and I was like, oh wow, this I love this idea. So if it was all Freya's idea, a concept, and I was just there to facilitate and sort of make it come alive, you know, with some paint and artwork, and we digitized it, and we you know, brainstorm a little bit in terms of how we want to execute it. So it's an interesting mural. It's got different elements to it. There's like a 2D aspect of it where there'll be a backdrop, a painting, but we're also going to incorporate some 3D elements. And Freya, you should talk about the concept itself. We've titled it "Love is Love," but I think we're going to start working on it this summer, and the big reveal happens in August, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk more about the design. Smitha does not give herself enough credit. The idea was not all mine. We worked together, and I did make an initial sketch, and it was far from beautiful. Smitha, I'm really not a good artist. But I was really inspired by this quote, which I love, from this US LGBT activist called Barbara Gittings. And she says, "Equality is more than laws. Equality is one in the hearts and minds of the community." And this is like my favorite quote of all time, because I love that it emphasizes agency, that everybody has a role to play, and you know, we have to open our hearts and we have to open our minds. And I was inspired by this. So this quote, I drew sort of like a big heart in the middle, and the idea was that all these different people from the town would be coming together to paint this heart different colors, and they're different colors that represent different sub-communities of the LGBT community. So you have the transgender flag, so somebody's painting the bottom of the heart sort of blue, pink, and white for the transgender flag. Somebody's painting it the rainbow on another corner to represent the gay community, pink, blue, and pink, blue and purple for the bisexual community. So the heart is just getting drenched in all these colors. And Smitha helped me design it so it looks like the paint is actually like running down the heart, like dripping off of it. And we've got all these different people from the community coming together because we wanted two messages: equality and intersectionality, because we know that equality cannot be achieved unless all of our groups, all of the minority groups work together and help each other, because not all LGBT people will be equal until all people of color are equal, all people from different religions are equal, because, you know, anybody can be LGBT, not necessarily, you know. So that was really important to us, like this sense of real community coming together and intersectionality. And the mural we've come up is absolutely beautiful. So Smitha helped design it. So in terms of the 3D elements, it's going to be like a 3D paint can, and the paint can is going to be like actually screwed onto the fence, and like a 3D paintbrush, a 3D paint roller, which is like the instruments being used to paint the paint coming off of the hearts. It's really nice. Yeah, Smitha's done a great job. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, me too. And we've also used some cultural elements, you know, some, you know, through people and what they wear, the jewelry, the dress, which reflects intersectionality. You know, the idea that anybody can be part of this LGBTQ community. So I've, you know, used certain South Asian looking people with hijab, and then and each of these people will have allies next to them. So that's also an important aspect of this.
That sounds really, really exciting. And did you say September is going to be the big unveiling, or when is that?
I think it's August. I don't know the exact date. I think it's like mid-August or first week of August, something like that.
Okay. When do you start?
I was supposed to start last weekend. But I'm still trying to get some supplies, and I should be starting anytime soon. Yeah.
Mm. And where's the funding coming from? Have you received a grant or?
Yeah, actually, this is the Hopkinton Cultural Council initiated this. Actually, they started it last year, and you know, so the EMC park where the fences are located.
Yeah.
There are already 3 murals existing there. So that was funded last year, and people loved it. So this year they've continued the funding for it. And I'm as soon as I heard about it, I decided to, you know, make this submission. So.
Well, that's great. That's going to be really something to look forward to over the summer, seeing as it takes place. And I'm just curious. As you're working on it and it takes time to create, do you like have a sheet around it and keep it under wraps until the big reveal? How does that work?
No, I think it's okay for people to do a sneak peek.
Okay.
I think it generates interest. Even last year, I was a part of doing this mural for South Asian mural. That was one of the murals, and a lot of people were curious. They came and asked questions. So it's nice to have conversations as well as we are working on it.
Excellent. Wow, that sounds great. All right. So those are two really big things coming up. You have the parade, and then you have the mural that'll be worked on over the summer. What else has the Freedom Team been up to lately?
Well, Juneteenth is coming up in 3 days. And so a subgroup of the Freedom Team is starting an event. It's a virtual event that goes from June 19th through July 4th. And so you can access it through the hopkintonfreedomteam.org website, through the Facebook, the Instagram, and different groups around town too. I think through the library. Because we've got several different groups in town who are contributing to this daily project. And it's an acrostic from Hopkinton. So each day there will be a new post, and it will include a summary of history and focusing on Juneteenth and racial justice and independence and nationality, origins, different concepts and what that means for us as members of this community. And then it will have different resources that people can check out. One day there will be a book reading, a children's book reading. Another day there will be a craft, and it's all related to the themes. And so, and then there's also a call to action each day. And it might be something small and manageable, or it could be something more involved. But it's just an opportunity to get people to really continue this discussion about social justice and what we can do here in our community and for one another, and as well as learn a lot more. So we're excited about that. And we thought that it would just be a small event because we just started planning this a few weeks ago, if that. But Christina Hannigan is the new member of the team, and she has been leading this effort. And I'm just so impressed and happy that this is the start of regular events. We're hoping to have monthly events that will target a different area of human justice.
And we're
go
going
ahead.
to have the Hopkinton lights up as one banner. We're going to have that as well for this project as well. And the Pride is going to feature in this project also.
Okay. Wow, that's really awesome. Where's the content coming from for the Juneteenth information?
All over. There are a large number of us who are involved, and so we're just pulling it from different resources or things that we individually have found helpful. The library has offered a whole link that they prepared a few years ago about slavery here in Hopkinton. So it's really a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Freya.
I was just going to add, this is one of the great things about the Freedom Team is now that we've been established about a year now. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, and we've been able to gain so many members that come from different backgrounds and represent different groups. So the fact that we're able to tap into the diversity that our group has, it's really amazing, because like Smithas said, when SAC was doing their project and they wanted a P for Pride, they came to me and asked me for my input, and same with the Juneteenth. So I haven't been working on the Juneteenth very much, because obviously I'm working with the Pride Parade group, but still, when they were going to do their P for Pride for the acronym, they came to us and they said to me, oh, would you give some inputs? And I think Lynn Canty has done a lot of work as well, a lot of research. So I think all different members kind of come together to bring their expertise and their experience to every project we do, which I think is just really, really beautiful.
And I wanted to add, I neglected to mention the South Asian Circle of Hopkinton's lights as part of this. And I also forgot to mention that we're going to be raising a Juneteenth flag, the freedom flag, in front of the town hall this Thursday, I believe. So there's just so much going on. It's hard to keep track of everything.
I was thinking that too. Go ahead, Smitha.
No, I was going to say there'll be colors changing every 2 days, based on, because there's going to be a social media post every day on something, and every couple of days we're going to change the color on the Hopkinton lights up as one banner, and that color relates to what's being posted, the social media post.
I see. So yes, I was following up on what Kathleen was saying. There is a lot of stuff going on. How big is your team now?
We're over 30 now, and we have other members who have signed a pledge on our website and have written their own personal pledge about what they are going to do towards this work. So I think we're gaining momentum.
Excellent. Now, Smitha, I'd like to just follow up with you for a minute, because you're talking about a lot of the artistic aspects. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yeah. So I have a fine arts background, and Somehow, I changed my career more towards product design, which so I often miss that aspect of being able to do art, just art for art's sake. And I love the fact that I can now do these kind of projects for the community. And it's a great way to sort of keep those muscles exercised, because you tend, when you don't lose it, you tend to lose it. Yeah, and I also have a little bit of advertising background. I worked in ad agencies like way back, started in print media. So I love to, work on some graphic design and contribute to the Freedom team, like, websites and other places where it's needed. So.
Mm-hmm. Great. All right. Now, I just want to make sure, have we hit everything that's current right now? Juneteenth is coming up. The Pride Parade is coming up. The mural will get started really soon. Are those the big topics right now, or do you have anything else going on?
I think the last time we were on your show, we were talking about the marathon love letters.
Yep.
And so that is ongoing as well. I know that the organizers of that are putting together the short photos and messages that people from all over have contributed. And so that will be going out to all of the marathon community and participants.
Okay. How are you archiving and storing all of these events and activities that you're producing?
I think they're just in my notepad. So, yeah, I think that I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think it's time that we need to get more structure and organization. So, because we really have grown beyond what I had dreamt was possible a year ago. I was patterning the Hopkinton Freedom Team after the Natick Freedom Team. And I think that the difference is that Natick has many more groups and organizations, such as Natick is United, Spark Kindness, and other groups that are doing a lot of this work and these activities. And so when the Hopkinton Freedom Team formed, I think that just so many people are excited to have an organization that's here now, that's doing this work, and that wants to bring in many different groups in the town and other people who are either already doing this work or are excited and passionate about doing it. So it's a very different group.
Mm. Now, when looking at your group, you just rattled off 4, I would say, major initiatives, major projects that you're launching and undertaking that really are going to have a big impact and a splash on our community. They're things that are important in this world right now, things that are getting a lot of attention right now, and you're bringing it down into a local level. So just wondering, as you look forward into the next several months or year, is this the type of level of activity that you would anticipate, or do you think that there will be cycles of so many things happening? Because it just seems like it's you're doing so much right now.
I think when we first started, really finding where we could make a difference is we had all these individuals that were so passionate and so many ideas, and it was how can we channel this energy and all this dedication and everything we want into something that can really have an impact in the community. And I think the fact that we're doing so much just shows that there really was kind of a hole that really needed to be filled in the community. And it seems that the more we get involved, the more we find things that we can do that will make a difference. And I think it's awesome, because I think I should really highlight that we don't do it alone. There's been so many organizations willing to come forward to say, we want to work with you. So the Freedom Team is always collaborating with people. The Youth Commission has been a huge supporter, a massive help to the Pride Parade. We would not have been able to do it without them. The Diversity Club at the high school, we've done a lot of work with them, including that Let's Talk About Change event that we did back in the fall. So there's always supporters. Youth and Family Services have helped make so many of our events happen. SAC is a huge supporter. So we're really not alone. And it sort of seemed like the Freedom Team is kind of this organization that can really bring everybody together, all these different organizations. We always had the potential to work together, and I think that's what the Freedom Team does really nicely, is we're fostering these collaborations throughout the town. So I think in the future, I don't see our Freedom Team changing. I see, we've been going a year now, and we still have so much energy, we still have so much drive. Knowing the people in this organization, I don't think we're going to stop anytime soon. And the thing is, a lot of the events we're doing, we're hoping will become an annual thing. This is the first Pride Parade, but none of us want it to be the last one. So a lot of the initiatives we believe we're setting up is things that will continue in the future. And that's what they say, is a lot of the things we're doing are the first time we've had a Juneteenth, or the first time we've had a Pride Parade, and things are always harder when you're trying to set up the first one. It's always harder, but once you set up the first one of something, they're easier, or how to run them in the future. So hopefully it'll be a little less work for us in the future, because we'll have had those experiences with those before. But absolutely, Juneteenth is something we want to see celebrated in Hopkinton every year, not just this year. And I can't imagine any of us, come next year, will change our mind on this.
I also think you'll have a little more breathing room, because you did start the Pride Parade, what you said, about 8 weeks ago. Right. So is there anything, talking about breathing room, is there anything that you as the Freedom Team are looking as a project in the future that maybe you have a little bit more time to think about, and it's not just like, hey, this is here now, let's jump aboard and do it? You guys have anything that you're percolating on?
Yeah, one project that we are thinking of launching soon is it's called the Origin Stories, and it started off as immigrant stories, but we wanted to sort of make it much broader, so it's not just about the immigrant experience. It's for everybody. Everybody has an origin. You start somewhere. So that's what this is about. And there'll be different topics. And one of the first topics that we are thinking of doing is something along the lines of, each person's identity and your personal experience based on that identity, and how you sort of walk through that journey of, where do you process all this through like a subtractive or an additive kind of a process. Like there are many people don't usually take one path or the other, for a myriad of reasons. People do it differently, but how do you sort of go through this process? So I think we want to have like a panel discussion on this. So that'll be another project. Still some things to be worked out, but that's coming up next.
Sounds really fascinating, Smithas. I like that idea. Make sure you keep us praised of that.
Yeah, definitely. And I also wanted to add, we are beginning to put some structure around these events. So we have for past events, we have documented it in our blog. It's all on the website. And then we've created a page called Events, which we're still sort of working on that. So hopefully we will update all these things through our Facebook and through our events page, so people can follow.
Wonderful. And in fact, just as we're wrapping up now, we should just make sure if people haven't been there yet, hopkintonfreedomteam.org, and you can connect with everything that you're all doing. All right. So listen, our half hour has flown. I'd like to thank you all very much for being here and sharing the fantastic work that you're doing in our community. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you for your support.
Of course, I'm sure we'll be talking with you soon.
Absolutely.
Yes, it should be a regular date. You have so much going on.
Thank you.
All right. I wish
bye.
you all a great rest of your night. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. And thank you, Hopkinton, for joining us for this half hour. And we invite you back for the next Hangout Hour and see what's happening in our community. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.